So the question we're going to look at today is this. Can Christians, believers in Jesus Christ, become perfect in this life? Or are they all still on the way to becoming perfect? Listen to Philippians 3:15. Paul says, "Let us therefore, as many as are perfect, have this attitude. And if in anything you have a different attitude, God will reveal that also to you." So what's the problem here? Well, in this verse, Paul calls on those who are, quote, perfect to act as he did. But if you look only 3 verses earlier in Philippians 3:12, Paul said, "Not that I have already obtained it or have already become perfect, but I press on so that I may lay hold of that for which also I was laid hold of by Christ Jesus." So if Paul was still pressing on to attain perfection, how could he talk about believers being perfect? How do we solve this mystery? Well, let's run the clock. As always, I've got 7 minutes, but this one's going to be pretty short. Here, we have a good example of how the same word can be used in different senses, in different ways. You know, that's not uncommon in any language, as the English word bored illustrates. Take this sentence, for example. The board members took a stroll on the boardwalk and then stopped at the desk to inquire about room and board. Okay, it's obvious that the same word board is being used here in 3 different senses. Well, likewise, Paul uses that word perfect in different ways. See, in the Greek language, this word perfect, it often meant mature or complete. Therefore, some believers are perfect in the sense of being mature or complete, but no believer this side of death is perfect in the sense of having fully arrived or having fully reached this ultimate goal where they have no sin in their life. This only comes, as Paul indicates in Philippians 3:11, at the resurrection from the dead. So, I know this dilemma was actually a pretty easy one to solve, but I wanted to tackle it because it really does address a common error many interpreters of the Bible make. It's the simple fact that the only way an individual can determine the precise meaning of a word is by studying that word in context. Very important. You've always got to keep terms in context. So I'm Brian Threlkeld, and thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of Bible Mysteries Solved in 7 minutes or less.